The Dreamcast is another console that I've got a ridiculous amount of accessories for. Here you can see it's got the old VMU rumble pack in the controller. Got a shitload of them. So I'm basically just going to go through the games. If I open it up there, you can see Headhunter was the last game that I played on the system. So not got a massive amount of games for the Dreamcast, but here they are, and I'll just go through them. Sega Extreme Sports is a title I kind of went out of my way to buy, but mainly because it's got mountain biking in, but it doesn't really work. Well, the game works, but I mean the style of game doesn't really work. Choo Choo Rocket, I booted this up and it was just mental, and yeah, it's just ridiculous speed. So I quite like these Virtua Striker games. This is Virtua Striker 2 version 2000.1. The only thing I found I didn't like on the games was I don't think you can sprint, which to me is, essential in a football game. But the graphics are solid, presentation's great, etc. So, Ferrari F355 Challenge Passion Rossa. Yeah, it's an awesome game. But the only bad thing I can say about it is its internal, first person cockpit view only. I believe there's a PlayStation 2 port of this game which does have external viewpoints, but I'm not 100% on that. But it's an extremely realistic, awesome racing game that is. Snow Surfers, Rep Systems. So that's basically from the guys that made Cool Borders. Can't remember too much about it. Virtua Fighter 3 TB, perfectly playable 3D fighting game. Yeah, the first kind of Virtua Fighter game with the actual 3D gameplay elements in, if you like, which is pretty cool. Sega Rally Championship 2 suffers from frame rate issues. Tomb Raider The Last Revelation, one of the most common Dreamcast games that there is. So Headhunter, that was the game that was in the Dreamcast, one of my favourite games on the system. You can also get it on the PS2. There was a sequel, but it was nowhere near as good as the original. Didn't have the motorbikes and all the stuff that made it good. One of my favourite sports titles, NHL 2K. Played a lot of this not so long back. Awesome game. Four Wheel Thunder. Can't remember much about that. So it can't be that good. Sonic Adventure. I always get stuck on it. Just come to brick wall halt where I don't know where to go. But it's kind of an okay game. Next up, Blue Stinger. Yeah, pretty crap, to be honest. I was expecting a lot more from the game. Fighting Force 2. Can't remember whether I've played that. I don't know. Revolt. This is a game that I had when I had a Dreamcast first time round. I also had Virtua Fighter 3 TB and Sonic Adventure. It's a pretty crap game, to be honest. This is a pretty cool game, but it's just extremely hard. I think you get like 3 lives and then you're dead and you go back to the start. You don't get to continue or anything. But yeah, graphics are shit. It's basically just a straight PS1 port with the same graphics and everything. So Sega Worldwide Soccer 2000, so following on from the Saturn games. Can't remember too much about that. NFL Blitz 2000. The only thing interesting about this game, because I don't think I've actually played it, is the fact that it doesn't have the title on the side of the box for some reason. Silver, this is a decent RPG, cool graphical style, like 2D kind of isometric backgrounds, that kind of 3D effect, similar to like Resident Evil kind of style of graphics. WWF Attitude, that is kind of just like a high resolution PS1 port. Millennium Soldier Expendable, it's not bad. It's a bit of a chaotic shooter. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Haven't played it, probably never will. Virtua Tennis, awesome game, definitely recommend it. There's also a sequel, I believe, Virtua Tennis 2. Jimmy White's Cue Ball, interesting. You can basically like walk around a bar, other than playing snooker and pool. Jet Set Radio, awesome game. The only problem for me is that the Dreamcast controller hurts my hands when I'm playing it, because it's not the most ergonomic controller. This is another interesting game because of packaging anomaly, and the reason is, if you look at the box, it says Racing Simulation Monaco Grand Prix, and then when you look at the disc, it says Monaco Grand Prix Racing Simulation 2. And I have checked it out, and it is the correct disc and everything. And what does it say on the yeah, it says it on the instructions as well, but not on the outside of the box. No idea why that is. Why that is. I think some developers just couldn't really be arsed with Dreamcast. Made half-arsed packaging and stuff. Tomb Raider Chronicles, not played that, I don't believe. Could be interesting though. So yeah, that's my Sega Dreamcast kind of games collection. Like I say, I've got loads of accessories for the system, but I didn't really want to take 2 hours doing a video on it. So yeah, awesome console, and some great games, some distinctly average games, but there are a few gems for the system.